The Laws of Ascension, Chapter 77, Lawfield. Lorik leaves the room he was in and starts running down the halls. After a while, he finds he recognizes where he is. He manages to find his way to Cyrilda's office, hoping she's inside. Unfortunately, she's not, and the office is empty. Lorik sighs before sitting back down against the door. He looks at the communications bracelet on his wrist. It had been taken off and placed on a nightstand next to the bed he was on. He took it before leaving the room. Turning it on, Lorik sees he has a few messages. The first one he checks is from Cyrilda. He sees the date it was sent, along with the current date. It's been a week. Lorik says in shock before reading the message. It's short, just telling him not to leave the castle. Cyrilda jokes about him not running away again. The next message is from Vera, just saying to wake up soon. He relaxes seeing it as only Vera can use her bracelet. This way, he knows it's her who sent it. The rest are from Leora. She tells him to wake up soon or she'll get mad. She also tells him a bit about what's been happening in her life recently. It's from her that he learns how the kingdom reacted to the attack. But he still has questions, namely how all the puppets look the same. Lorik gets up and walks over to the table. He takes a seat before closing his eyes. He analyzes the changes that have taken place within him. He knows he's a mage now, but was too worried about Vera to think about it. Looking into himself, he finds himself in a new world. As far as the eye can see is a dark void. Floating in front of him are 4 bright lights. One is a brown wolf head, emitting a brown light. Another is a jagged gray stone emitting a dark purple light. The third is a circular blue orb that's slightly transparent, emitting a soft blue light. The other is a longsword emitting a metallic silver light. The wolf head and stone float higher above the orb and sword, but the wolf's head floats above the stone. Not directly, it's a few feet to the side, but it's higher in the air above the stone. Lorik immediately recognizes the 4 lights as his laws. The wolf is his law of the hunt, the stone his gravity law, the orb is his new soul law, and the sword is his sword law. Each of the lights are connected to the other. Small strings connect them, multiple strings coming out of each. The scene fades away, and Lorik reopens his eyes. What was that? I never heard of being able to see law lights. Lorik thinks before sighing and shaking his head. He continues looking into his laws, but he doesn't see that scene again. He finds that his law of the hunt and gravity law are still at the 4th rank, lesser mage level. His soul law and sword law are both 10th tier mage level. I can't jump levels anymore. Lorik thinks after trying to use his soul ability. He can't, much to his dismay. He was hoping to use that to quickly raise his gravity and hunt laws. After confirming he can't use his soul ability anymore, Lorik starts messing around with his soul and sword laws. He doesn't know any spells for them yet, so he tries to manipulate them. However, he doesn't have a sword or anything with a soul on hand. He doesn't want to experiment with his own either. Instead, he tries to recreate the swords he used during the fight. He tries creating swords made of soul power. He uses the times he'd summon his soul sword and use it as a weapon for reference. After an hour of experiments, half of which was spent waiting for soul power to recover, he succeeded. He creates a long sword made of blue soul power in his hands. After creating it, it doesn't consume any soul power. However, he can control its sharpness with a bit of soul power. Usually, it'll be as sharp as a regular sword. But he can make it sharp enough to cut steel like butter, or make it so dull it can't even cut through cloth. After a bit more experimentation, he makes it float and cut through the air. At this point, he's smiling widely. He tries to make more, but finds that one's his limit. How did I make so many before? Is it because my hunt and gravity laws were at a mage level? Lorik thinks before sighing. Lorik sits back and waits for Cyrilda to come to her office. Either that or for day to come, then he'll message her. After another hour, the sun starts rising. Cyrilda appears next to the table with a stack of papers and a sandwich. She doesn't notice Lorik and sits down without looking around. Good morning, Lorik says, causing her to nod. Morn. She starts before looking up. She goes wide-eyed when she sees Lorik sitting there. Lorik, when did you wake up? She asks while setting her sandwich down. About 2 hours ago. How are Vera and the others? Lorik asks, causing her to sigh. She holds up her communications bracelet and messages someone. They're fine. Vera's been on bed rest, but she'll be off tomorrow. Aside from that, though, she's perfectly healthy. It's just that her injuries left residual laws in her. If left alone, they'd become something akin to poison to her. So she has to rest to let her body deal with them, though her law has been fighting against them rather aggressively. So she's more or less in the clear now. As for Sarah and Rowan, they weren't injured. I teleported them and most of the people in the stands out before the fighting started. I wanted to get to you and Vaira, but with 3 Grand Mage clones, I wasn't going to get close. In the heat of the moment, I had to choose the people in the stands first. Cyrilda replies before lowering her arm. What was that about clones? Were they not puppets? Lorik asks. Yes and no. The man who attacked is Godric Calvaris. He's the king of Calvaris, whom we're at war with. He used a tool to open a space channel. That's just a small tunnel that shortens the distance between 2 places. Anyway, he has a way to create clones of himself. We suspect it's related to his law. He's a 4th-tier Grand Mage, but we don't know what law he uses. But those puppets were cloned from him. He's able to control them from a distance and see through them. Cyrilda explains. Now tell me what happened at the barrier. It blocked us from seeing inside, so we couldn't check what happened until after. We know from Vera what happened up to the point of her collapse. She adds, after Vera collapsed, I drank the soul-stabilizing potion. I used my ability to become a mage, and my hunt and gravity laws were elevated to the same level. From there, everything gets all fuzzy. I remember the ground changing color and turning brown. Sharp blue grass appeared, and the air turned purple. I muttered something about law at that time, but I can't remember what. Lorik says before Cyrilda interrupts her. Was it a law field? We could feel traces of it after the fight. Cyrilda says, I think so, I'm not sure. What is a law field? Lorik replies, I'll tell you in a bit. What happened after that? He was in the air, but after the law field he fell. He said there was an air ban, but I'm not sure why. Lorik says, causing her to nod. Then we fought. There were wolves and blue swords. I'm not sure what happened next, but I remember seeing a string. It connected the clone I was fighting and the 3 outside. I saw it came from the space channel. After seeing it, something clicked, and I launched a soul attack. I remember using my hunt law to guide the swords into his body, then through the string. After that, he just burst into blood and flesh. I collapsed after that. Lorik explains, causing Cyrilda to nod. She just closes her eyes and waits for a bit. After a few minutes, the door opens and Vera, Sarah, and Rowan all enter. Lorik, Veria says, upon seeing him awake. She quickly walks over and pulls him into a hug. How are you feeling? Rowan asks as Lorik pulls away from the hug. Good, I'm a mage now. Lorik replies, causing him to scoff. I'll catch up soon, Rowan replies as he and Sarah sit across from him. Vera sits next to him. Now that you're all here. Cyrilda starts before looking at the 4 of them. Let me tell you about law fields. A law field is the main attack of a mage. Only mages can perform this, as lesser mages lack comprehension of their laws. But not all mages can use a law field. Generally speaking, of every 500 mages, only 2 or 3 can use a law field. Cyrilda surprises them. It's not something every mage can use? Veria asks. No. In order to use a law field, you have to be very compatible with your law. Rowan, Lorik, this is why we were shocked to see you using full body spells. It basically showed that you have a high chance of being able to use a law field. When a law field is activated, it will cover an area centered around you in your law. Its range depends on both compatibility and the echelon of the law. Within this area, the strength of your laws are greatly enhanced, while other laws are weakened. For this reason, most mages only use it when fighting alone. Fighting in another person's law field is incredibly uncomfortable and difficult. Of course, you can overpower someone's law field with your own, or just destroy it with enough strength. But those are both difficult to achieve in practice. Cyrilda replies, How do I use it? I tried but couldn't recreate it again. Lorik asks, You can use it? Sarah asks, surprised. He did during the fight, but you can't now, or at least I think. You likely need your gravity and hunt laws to reach mage level to use it. Or you can increase your soul and sword laws to the point you can use their law field. Cyrilda explains, I'll just raise my other laws. Lorik replies before the door opens again. Leora runs in and quickly wraps Lorik in a hug. Can you guys stop hugging me? Lorik says. No, this is your punishment for worrying me, Leora replies. Do you not like hugs? Vera asks. No, they're unconfutable. Lorik replies as Leora finally lets go. They are not. I hug my friends almost every day, Leora replies. Good for you, but we don't do hugs in the black market. Well, one crazy long-eared girl does, but no one else. Lorik replies, before anyone can ask who he's talking about, someone starts talking from the door. Why is this door open? They say,